Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new concept on this YouTube channel. I haven't posted anything in quite a long time. The last one was a recent video, which was titled Suggestion Video, where I asked you guys, what do you think I should do for a weekly YouTube show? Well, I came up with an idea, and that idea is simply, put it, to do a movie review, just like all those other ones out there on YouTube. Now, my first topic will be Captain Marvel, the recent Marvel Studios movie. It follows Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, who is a half-human, half-Kree person who is a warrior hero, as she calls herself in the film. And it is an intriguing movie to see if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. I suggest seeing this because it is connected to the Avengers ever since Avengers Infinity War. This was a movie that was in the works to be featuring the most powerful superhero of all time, Captain Marvel, who originally was another version of a Captain Marvel, which was created back in the 90s or 80s or something like that. Where the DC superhero that's coming out now, known as Shazam, was originally called Captain Marvel. He was originally called Captain Marvel. He was the original Captain Marvel, which had nothing to do with the Marvel comic books. They were part of the DC universe. But out of legal action and everything, Marvel got the superhero name Captain Marvel to Carol Danvers. Now, this movie was in my opinion, a decently good movie. I mean, seeing it a second time around, a third time around, a fourth time around, it gets boring, as any and all movie probably does eventually. Over time gets boring because it's pretty predictable. Once you've seen it twice over at least, you can pretty much grasp what's happening and when it's gonna happen and all this and that. But even then, Captain Marvel, I don't know. To me, Captain Marvel was that great of a movie. So, I don't know. I recommend seeing it, if you haven't done so already. So please, please, please be aware that the next clip you're about to see, first off, I want to mention this off the record. All video clips that I'm going to show in this video, are owned and copyrighted, and duly so, to Marvel Studios and anybody that has released the video clips. Mostly 99, if not 100%, of all copyright ownership goes directly to Marvel Studios. I like to just get that out of the way. I will leave that in the description below as well, that all copyright ownership to any video clip I show you in this video belongs solely to Marvel Studios. Alright, well, let's get into the first video of the movie reviewer. Captain Marvel. What can I say about Captain Marvel as far as the MCU is concerned, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is concerned? I can say that MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, will now have one of the strongest superheroes known to man in their fight to defeat Thanos the second time around. And, well, in my opinion, I think Captain Marvel is the number one superhero that they've been longing to join on their team. But let me say this. If you have seen Captain Marvel, which, let me say this, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie yet, please turn off this video. But for those of you that have seen the movie, please stick with me for the rest of the review. You are not going to regret it. It is going to be a decently good review video. Now, I might stutter here and there. Let me just give you an insight on me. I'm a nervous person. This is the first type of a review that I'm doing. So the video quality, the audio quality, the entire presentation may not seem that well, but please stick with me. And I promise you, if you stick with me, you're going to see a transformation per video that I get better and better and better at presenting it, editing it, and even doing the audio commentary for it. So please stick with me. All right? Now let's get into the actual review of the Captain Marvel film, which was released March of 2019, this year. Captain Marvel is one hell of a superhero, in my opinion. Many people are putting her down, saying that she shouldn't be the strongest superhero, it should be a man. Some are saying, oh my god, she said this, Brie Larson said this and that, this and that, this and that, and I don't like her because of this. Oh, the movie's not that entertaining, it's predictable, I could have predicted it a while ago that it was going to end up in A, B, C, D. Well, many of you didn't. Many of you at first were excited when the first mention of a Captain Marvel was introduced last year in Avengers Infinity War with that symbol in that after credit scene. Many of you were stir crazy. You wanted to see Captain Marvel's movie. Now since it's out, you're complaining about it. Why are you complaining about it? My opinion, Captain Marvel was that great of a movie. It'll be in the line of the MCU that we need. Seriously. I mean, yeah, there were some problems with it, yes. Most movies, if not all, have some sort of problem with them. Whether it's the way it's filmed, whether it's the storyline arc, whether it's the design of the costumes, whatever. The acting capabilities of the actor. Brie Larson is a decently good actress. I will give her credit where credit is due. Brie Larson tried her best in a spot that she did not know much about because she is not a superhero actor. Robert Downey Jr. since 2008 has honed his skills at being a superhero. He is Iron Man. Chris Evans, after the shitty, and this is me putting it out there, a shitty Fantastic Four, or rather the first version of the shitty of Fantastic Four, just like Ryan Reynolds when he did Green Lantern and then saw how shitty it did, he turned his back away and turned on to an even better role as Deadpool. Chris Evans turned on into an even better role as Captain America. So with that, Steve Rogers, Captain America, they are a decently good superhero. But at the same time, Captain Marvel, in my opinion, being the number one superhero that has the powers and capability, hopefully, to defeat Thanos, I don't know. I don't see how this is played out. Like, I've seen the trailers for Endgame, which you're gonna see in this video as well. Again, all credit goes to Marvel Studios. But I just want to say this, like, seeing her a part of the Avengers, even though she's the inspiration for the Avengers Initiative, I don't know. I just don't see why, like, I don't see how she fits in outside of the fact that she is the last resort. But then again, why hasn't Nick Fury texted her during Age of Ultron or during the first Avengers movie in the fight of New York City? Why didn't he signal to Captain Marvel right then? Why did he wait till the very last second when everyone got dusted? After Thanos' snap? Seriously, the decimation. Like, why did it take him that long to say, oh, this is the ultimate plan, let's call Captain Marvel? In my opinion, I think Captain Marvel should have been called a lot sooner, but that's just me. Many of you out there will say, no, James, no. He did the right thing and waited. He let the Avengers show us who they were as superheroes, as a group, as a unit. They fought against Ultron, they won. But, like, still leading into Thanos, like, I don't know. I just don't know. So, yeah, I guess I just don't know anymore, but Captain Marvel, if you haven't seen it, please go ahead and see it. I understand that the movie's not that well, but in my opinion, I'm a superhero fan. As far as MCU, I hate the DC with a passion, but that's just me. Everyone has their own opinion. So, with that being said, I'm a Marvel Cinematic fan. So, I'm glad they're finally including Captain Marvel into the MCU. And in phase 4.5, maybe phase 5, I see them eventually at some point or another, not in this film, not in Endgame, but in some point or another, I see them including people like Dark Phoenix, which is Jean Grey. I see them including Deadpool into the MCU eventually. I see all these Marvel characters eventually being included into the MCU after Endgame. Now, spoiler alert, from what I've been reading, again, this could be false information, as the Russos like to do, especially for this movie, because it is the ender of Avengers. It is the cutoff point for the Avengers. After this, the Avengers will no longer be a team. They'll still be making films independently, like another Iron Man movie possibly, or another Captain America, or another Thor, or another Hulk, or a Black Widow, or whatever. They will be making movies based off of the characters, but as far as being a unit and a team, Endgame really is that. It's the Endgame. It is the end of the Avengers as a unit. So, with that being said, I don't know how they would include Deadpool or any other Marvel characters into this. I don't see how they would or how they could. So please, down in the comments below, let me know your ideas. How would you put Deadpool into a film? How would you introduce him into the MCU? How would you introduce someone like Jean Grey or Dark Phoenix or Professor X or Wolverine or anybody for that matter outside of the current MCU? How would you introduce them into the MCU as part of another phase? I'd like to hear your comments. So please comment down below. Comment. With that being said, also subscribe and push that bell notification button because you'll get notified whenever I release new videos. So thank you for listening and see you all in the next movie reviewer episode. Also, I'm going to be doing a bi-weekly podcast, so subscribe to that. The Movie Reviewer Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Some people move on, but not us.